Hey, what if you could learn 10 big new words without ever looking at a single flashcard? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to build up our vocabulary by following the story of a king who's facing a huge, life-changing decision.
You see, the idea here is super simple. Our brains are just wired for stories. When we attach new words to a story, to characters and events, they stick in a way that a boring old list just never could. So, are you ready? Let's dive into our tale. So let me introduce you to our main character, King Alistair. Now, by all accounts, he was a good king, and his people really did love him. But lately, something was off. A quiet sadness had fallen over the castle, and our king found himself in a truly royal predicament. His usual happiness, which was normally as bright as the sun, had started to, well, abate. And for a king who was famous for his loud, booming laugh, this quiet, nagging sadness was a total aberration. Okay, so what does it mean when something abates? It just means it becomes less intense. Think about pouring a can of soda. You know how it's all fizzy and bubbly at first? But if you leave it out, that fizz just slowly calms down and disappears. That's what was happening to the king's joy. It was going flat. And an aberration, that's just something that's different from what's normal or what you'd expect. Imagine you're walking through a big field of 3-leaf clovers, and then, bam, you spot a 4-leaf clover. That little lucky charm is an aberration. It's unusual, it's unexpected, just like the king's new sadness. All right, quick check-in. Let's say the party next door is super loud, music is blasting, and then all of a sudden it gets much, much quieter. Has the noise started to abate? Yes, it absolutely has. The intensity has gone way down. So, one morning, while the king was going through his royal ablutions, his daily washing up routine, he has this big aha moment. He's staring at his reflection in this fancy gold wash basin, and he realizes what he has to do. He has to abnegate his life of empty luxury. Now, ablution sounds like a really fancy, complicated word, right? But it's not. It's just a formal way of saying washing yourself. Think about what you do every single morning. You wash your face, you brush your teeth. Those are your daily ablutions. It's a ritual we all do. And to abnegate something, that means you formally reject it, you renounce it. The king basically said, that's it. No more fancy feasts, no more ridiculous luxury. He was making a conscious choice to give it all up. So, pop quiz. If you decide to abnegate dessert, are you grabbing that slice of chocolate cake or are you skipping it? You got it. You're skipping it. You're denying it to yourself. Okay, this decision is a massive turning point for our king. He's made up his mind, and now he sets off on a quest for some real wisdom. Let's see where he goes next. Looking for answers, the king travels to a monastery to talk to its wise leader, the abbot. The abbot doesn't give him some easy answer. Instead, he just shows him this ancient scroll. And the king notices something interesting. Every single word is spelled out, with no shortcuts, not one single abbreviation. So, what's an abbot? He's the head of a monastery. You can kind of think of him as the principal of a very, very quiet and thoughtful school, in charge of guiding all the monks who live there. And an abbreviation? We all know this one. It's just a shortcut, right? We use them all the time. We write ST instead of street, or call our friend Jen instead of Jennifer. The fact that this ancient, important scroll didn't have any abbreviations told the king that its message was incredibly serious. All right, here's an easy one for you. Is TV an abbreviation for television? Of course it is. That's a perfect everyday example. Now, as the king is heading home, his path takes him past the royal abattoir. An abattoir? Well, it's a slaughterhouse. It's a grim but necessary part of life. And seeing this place, this symbol of his heavy duties, it sparked something in him. He realized it wasn't just about his own luxuries. He had the power to abolish the unfair laws that were making his people's lives so hard. To abolish something is a really powerful move. It means to officially put a complete end to it. Imagine your parents suddenly decided to abolish the no TV on weekdays rule. That rule wouldn't just be on hold, it would be gone forever. Pretty great, right? So, back to our king. If he abolishes a law, do his people still have to follow it? Nope, not at all. To abolish means to wipe it off the books completely. The people are free from it. And here we are. The king's whole journey, his sadness, his search for wisdom, his big realization, it has all been leading to this very moment, the final, massive choice he has to make. And then, he finally gets it. It's crystal clear. It's not enough to just change a few laws. To find real peace for himself and for his kingdom, he has to take the biggest step of all. He has to abdicate the throne.
So, the verb is to abdicate, and the whole formal process is called an abdication. And it's a really big deal. It involves signing official papers, making a final speech to the people, and then, the most symbolic part, taking off that heavy crown for the last time. It is the ultimate act of giving up power. Okay, for our very last question. After his abdication, is Alistair still the king? The answer is no. He has formally, officially given up the throne. He's just a regular person now, but for the first time in a long time, he's finally at peace. So how can we make these big royal words a part of our own lives? Well, let's try a word-powered morning routine. Tomorrow when you wake up, you can feel your sleepiness abate. Then you'll begin your morning ablutions. Maybe you'll abnegate the urge to hit that snooze button. You could even decide to abolish one bad habit for the day. And if you feel a little grumpy, just remember, it's only an aberration. See? It's a fun way to make these words totally your own. And that brings us right to our final thought. King Alistair made some huge changes in his life to find peace. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own life, what is one old habit that you would really truly like to abolish?